In this video, I'm about to show you 10 US bread brands you need to avoid, as well as 5 you should actually be buying, starting with the worst offenders first. Number 10. Merita Enriched White Bread. Merita has been around since 1901, born in Birmingham, Alabama, and they love telling that story on the packaging. But here is what they do not put on the front of the bag. The verified ingredient list shows enriched flour as the base, high fructose corn syrup as the third ingredient, and a lineup of dough conditioners including datum, azotocarbonamide, and calcium propionate. High fructose corn syrup as the third ingredient in a bread loaf before salt, before oil, before anything else. That is not baking tradition. That is a formula built to keep costs down and palatability up, so you keep reaching into the bag. 1 gram of fiber per slice. Your body processes this loaf fast. Hunger returns fast, and Merita sells another loaf. That is the whole business model dressed up in 1901 nostalgia. Number 9. Gonella Enriched White Bread. Gonella has been baking since 1,886 inches Chicago, and the brand carries real heritage credibility in the Midwest and beyond. But credibility built in 1886 does not automatically translate to what ends up in today's bag. The verified ingredient list on Gonella Enriched White Bread shows enriched bleached flour as the first ingredient, high fructose corn syrup third, and a long list of additives including azotocarbonamide, sodium stearoyl lactolate, mono and diglycerides, and calcium propionate as a preservative. Azotocarbonamide is a dough conditioner that several countries, including the United Kingdom and Australia, have banned from food use. The United States still permits it. Nearly 140 years of baking history, and this is the formula they landed on. The heritage is real. The ingredient list is not something to be proud of. Number 8. Stroman Dutch Country White. Stroman Dutch Country White sells old-world European baking tradition right there in the name and on the label. The ingredient list tells a completely different story. This loaf contains enriched flour, high fructose corn syrup, and calcium propionate as a preservative. High fructose corn syrup in a bread product baffles me every single time. Bread does not need an industrially processed corn sweetener to function as bread. It is there because it is cheap, because it increases palatability, and because it gets you reaching for another slice before you should. A 2019 Consumer Reports analysis of regional white sandwich breads found that loaves containing high fructose corn syrup consistently delivered higher sugar loads per serving, with zero improvement in satiety. Stroman has sold this in the same basic format for decades. The Dutch Country name is doing a lot of heavy lifting for a product that cannot stand on its ingredients alone. Number 7. Village Hearth Cottage Bread. Village Hearth Cottage Bread is a Midwest staple that ends up in countless grocery carts every week because the name sounds like something decent, the price is right, and the packaging is clean and simple. But the verified ingredient list from multiple major retailers confirms enriched unbleached flour as the base, high fructose corn syrup third on the list, potato flakes added for texture, and calcium propionate as a preservative. The potato flakes are there to create that slightly soft, pillowy texture that feels comforting not to add any meaningful nutrition. Fiber sits at 1 gram per slice. The high fructose corn syrup is doing the same job it does in every other refined white loaf on this list, making it sweeter and more palatable, so you eat more without noticing. Cottage bread sounds like something honest. This product is not. Number 6. Nature's Own Honey Wheat. This is the one that makes me genuinely angry because it is specifically designed to mislead people who are actually trying to make better choices. Nature's Own Honey Wheat puts honey and wheat on the front of the bag and lets your brain connect the dots. Then you flip it over and the first ingredient is enriched flour, not whole wheat flour. Enriched flour is refined grain stripped of its bran and germ, with synthetic vitamins injected back in afterward. The wheat on the front is technically accurate, but nutritionally meaningless. The honey adds sugar while letting the company use natural-sounding language instead of writing sugar in plain English. A 2021 Environmental Working Group report on misleading bread labels specifically flagged this exact category, honey-branded, wheat-labeled loaves built on enriched flour bases as among the most deceptive products in the commercial bread market. Nature's Own is one of the best-selling bread brands in the United States. Millions of people buying it every week thinking they made a smart decision? The label misled them. Number 5. Pepperidge Farm Farmhouse Hearty White. Pepperidge Farm has spent decades convincing American consumers that farmhouse means something real. On this loaf, it does not. Farmhouse Hearty White is built on enriched flour, contains added sugar, and relies on dough conditioners to produce that thick, photogenic slice. Fiber sits at 1 gram per slice. Protein at 3 grams. The word hearty suggests staying power and substance. The nutrition facts say otherwise. A 2021 Consumer Reports Pricing and Nutrition Analysis ranked several Pepperidge Farm white bread varieties in the bottom tier for nutritional value per dollar among national sandwich bread brands. You are paying a premium for a brand story about old-fashioned baking. Your body processes this loaf the same way it processes the cheapest white bread on the bottom shelf. The packaging changes. The enriched flour does not. Number 4. Schmidt Old Time Classic White Bread. Schmidt Old Time has been around since 1886 and leans hard on that history in its branding. The classic white loaf uses enriched flour as the base, sugar, hydrogenated soybean oil, and a collection of dough conditioners including distilled monoglycerides and guar gum. Hydrogenated soybean oil is worth flagging. Specifically, the hydrogenation process creates small amounts of trans fat residue, even in products that label themselves as 0 trans fat per serving, because the FDA allows that claim when trans fat falls below half a gram per serving. Small amounts per slice multiply quickly across a week of daily sandwiches. The fiber sits at 1 gram per slice. The grain content is purely refined, and the heritage branding does exactly what it is designed to do: create trust that the ingredient list has not earned. Number 3. Country Kitchen Giant White Bread. Country Kitchen Giant White is a Flowers Foods product distributed heavily across the South and Midwest, and the verified ingredient list from multiple retailers confirms exactly what you would expect from a budget mass production loaf: enriched flour, high fructose corn syrup, soybean oil, and calcium propionate. Flowers Foods, the parent company, operates one of the largest commercial bread production networks in the United States, supplying multiple brand names from overlapping formulas. Country Kitchen is one of those brands, a regional label sitting on the same basic enriched flour and high fructose corn syrup foundation used across the portfolio, 1 gram of fiber per slice. The giant in the name refers to the loaf size, not the nutritional content. You get more of the same refined, quickly digested, hunger-returning bread, just more slices per bag. Number 2. Sun-Maid Cinnamon Swirl Raisin Bread. Sun-Maid raisin bread catches people off guard because raisin bread carries a genuinely wholesome image: real fruit, a little sweetness, something that feels like a step up from plain white bread. But the first ingredient in Sun-Maid Cinnamon Swirl Raisin Bread is enriched flour. The cinnamon swirl is a layer of added sugar and cinnamon folded directly into the dough during production. The raisins themselves are a concentrated natural sugar source, water removed, sugar concentrated. Put enriched flour, a cinnamon sugar swirl, and raisins together. And you have a loaf that presents itself as a wholesome morning choice while quietly delivering a significant sugar load before your first cup of coffee is finished. Sun-Maid built its entire brand identity on dried fruit. That reputation creates a health halo this bread product simply does not deserve. The fruit in the name does not fix what is in the bag. Number 1. Bunny Bread Original White. Bunny Bread has been a Southern grocery staple since 1942, and the regional loyalty runs genuinely deep in the markets where it sells. But 80+ years on the shelf does not change what is in the bag, and what has been in this bag has not meaningfully improved in all that time. Bunny Bread Original White is enriched bleached flour, added sugar, soybean oil, and a standard preservation package. The bleaching is worth understanding. Chemical agents, including benzoyl peroxide or chlorine dioxide, are used to whiten and industrially age flour faster for mass production timelines. Several European countries restrict or ban bleached flour in food products over concerns about chemical residues. The United States allows it without restriction, 1 gram of fiber per slice. Soft texture, engineered by stripping the grain of everything that would give it real structure. Over 8 decades on the market, and the core formula has barely changed. That is not heritage. That is a company that found a cheap formula and never had a reason to improve it. But fear not, as not all bread brands are out to slice you up. Here are the 5 you can trust. Number 5. Dave's Killer Bread Thin Sliced 21 Whole Grains and Seeds. Dave's Killer Bread earned its reputation through the ingredient list, not the marketing budget. Thin Sliced 21 Whole Grains and Seeds lists whole wheat flour as the very first ingredient, delivers 5 grams of fiber per serving and 3 grams of protein per slice. No high fructose corn syrup, no bleached flour, no artificial preservatives. The Whole Grains Council certified this loaf as a verified whole grain product, meaning the grain content meets independently confirmed standards, not just language a company printed on its own bag. 2 slices of Dave's keep you genuinely full in a way that 4 slices of any enriched white loaf on this list never will. Yes, it costs more up front, but you eat less of it, snack less throughout the day, and your body actually gets something useful from every single slice. That trade is worth making every time. Number 4. Ezekiel 4-9 Sprouted Grain Bread. Food for Life's Ezekiel 4-9 is made from 6 organically sprouted grains and legumes: wheat, millet, barley, lentils, soybeans, and spelt. 0 added sugar, not low sugar. Absolutely 0. The sprouting process breaks down phytic acid, a compound that normally blocks your body from absorbing minerals properly. That means the iron, magnesium, and zinc in this bread actually get absorbed and used rather than passing through your system. Each slice delivers 3 grams of fiber and 4 grams of protein, a protein number genuinely rare in commercial sliced bread. It lives in the freezer section because without artificial preservatives, it cannot survive weeks sitting on an ambient shelf. That is not a drawback. That is proof it is real food. Registered dietitians across the United States have consistently recommended this bread specifically for blood sugar management and sustained daily energy. Number 3. Silver Hills Bakery, the Big 16. Silver Hills built its following the right way by making a product that actually performs. The Big 16 delivers 5 grams of fiber per slice, a full sprouted grain and seed blend including sunflower and flax, and 0 added sugar. The seeds matter beyond texture. The healthy unsaturated fats in flax and sunflower extend the fullness window meaningfully beyond what plain grain bread provides on its own. Silver Hills is certified organic and non-GMO verified, and the company maintains ingredient sourcing transparency that most large American bread brands do not bother with. Both Eating Well and Health Magazine have specifically recommended Silver Hills in their bread guidance for functional nutrition and a clean, readable label. This is a brand that has nothing to hide about what goes into its product. And in today's grocery store, that kind of honesty is genuinely rare. Number 2. Alvarado Street Bakery Sprouted Wheat. Alvarado Street Bakery out of Petaluma, California has been making sprouted grain bread since 1979, decades before larger companies figured out they could print sprouted on a label and charge more for a product that had not fundamentally changed. Their sprouted wheat loaf uses organic sprouted wheat berries as the base, keeps the ingredient list short and completely honest, and delivers 3 grams of fiber and 5 grams of protein per slice. 5 grams of protein per slice is exceptionally high for commercial bread and makes a genuine, measurable difference in satiety. Alvarado Street is a worker-owned cooperative, meaning the people producing the bread have a direct personal stake in its quality every single day. Over 4 decades of consistent, honest production does not happen by accident. In an industry built on shortcuts, that track record means something real. Number 1. Angelic Bakehouse. Sprouted 7 grain. Angelic Bakehouse is the bread worth handing to anyone who has given up finding genuinely good commercial bread in this country. The sprouted 7 grain loaf is made from 7 whole sprouted grains: wheat, oats, barley, rye, millet, spelt, and amaranth, with no added sugar, no artificial preservatives, and an ingredient list any regular person can read without a food science degree. Fiber lands between 4 and 5 grams per slice, among the highest of any commercially available sliced bread in the United States. Angelic Bakehouse is based in Cudahy, Wisconsin, uses verified non-GMO ingredients, and has earned multiple clean label certifications from independent third-party organizations. Multiple registered dietitians have specifically cited this brand for blood sugar management and sustained appetite control. It earns the #1 spot because it does everything right. The grains, the process, the transparency, the honesty. It proves that real bread is still being made in this country. And now you know exactly where to find it.